Story time on how I found out that I was HIV positive, and also what I did to become undetectable. Preference: what undetectable means is someone that cannot pass on HIV. It will not affect them. It will not affect that person, and also they cannot pass it on to anyone else. So if someone tells you they're undetectable and you're gonna have sex with them, you'll be fine. Anyways, so I would say I get tested every 3 months when it comes to my status, and I would say after my birthday, so this was last year, March, I got really sick and consistently sick. I would get sick, get a little bit better, then get right back to being sick. And I was like, something's wrong. And in the end of May, it was about time for me to get my checkup. And I don't know, but I had this weird feeling, and I've seen multiple videos of people saying the same thing. I had a feeling that my test result for HIV was going to come back positive. Very overwhelming. And basically, I was getting my test. Doctor is trying to draw my blood. I already did my test for the HIV, and then that doctor is asked to leave the room. I'm in the room for a little bit, and another doctor comes in and she tells me the news that I am HIV positive. Now, the first test is a rapid test. The second test is like a for sure answer. And she told me we're going to do another test and you won't know until 2 weeks what the results are. At this moment, I'm kind of just like in shock and in disbelief. And prior to this, I had pretty good knowledge of what undetectable meant. So I knew if I were to ever become HIV positive, it wouldn't be the end of the world for me. Next steps, those next 2 weeks, or my depression was through the roof. My anxiety was through the roof because I didn't know. I didn't know. I looked up, I was Googling everything. I looked it up and it was like, oh, it's a 99.5% chance that the rapid tests are inaccurate. And for a little bit, I was like, maybe I could be the 0.5%. I was not the 0.5%. I can look back at it now and laugh, but at the moment I was crushed. And then as far as like how I was going to pay for the medication, was scary. I looked it up and I was like, okay, well, I don't have insurance. What if my insurance doesn't cover the medication? And it was going to be, let's just say, what I make in a month was for a month supply of the medication. And I was crushed. It hurt. It hurt because I didn't know if my insurance covered the medication. And then after that, I looked up, well, what happened? How long? What's the life expectancy for someone that has HIV? And it was 10 years. And I'm not going to lie, it made me break down because it was like, wow, I only have 10 years left to see my nieces and nephews grow up. This is all before I got my final diagnosis. And it was crushing. I felt like it was the end. Not only